I would take some of my disability money to go buy them shoes and then have to borrow money to pay my phone bill. I wanted them kids to know, man, there's somebody here. I would take them kids home with me. And I had a daughter in a 1-bedroom apartment. The old man would say, man, don't do that, bro. You got a daughter. And then that kid got killed. So, man, I fought to keep making right choices.
Well, it's the land of the free and home of the brave. Stairs in the house of the community. But leave them alone and what they're gonna say. With the clean back, fucking markers here to stay.
When I threw in the towel is when I had the issue when my friend's son, Dacian Steptoe, killed Officer Garrett Hull. That was my breaking point. That's when I threw in the towel. I had felt used, abused. I was a political toy for a lot of people. And I had to move back home to mama. 33 years old, man, I'm going back home to mama with my kids. And my son know we poor. I've been doing all this great work, man. I meet with the chief every week. I meet with Deputy Chief Dean, Deputy Chief Ty Hassel. I'm with Rick Van Houten with the police officer. Man, all these people, man. And I'm walking. But I'm not asking for nothing. I don't know how to ask. I don't know how to ask for a grant. They know I need a grant. So I start going to the community. But the community starts shaming, man, you working with the police ass nigga. So now the community rejected me. Man, I just became angry. Man, fuck everybody.
Need a good
fuck
consultant.
Garrett Hull. Man, fuck. So, and that's when I fell from grace in this city with all political leaders. Police department. They never thought about, I was out there by myself for years with threats over my head, working in the community every day.
And nothing to show for it.
And nothing to show
other than the progress that you hope to make by gleaning those messages onto others, right?
Yeah, the progress is when the kids was coming home.
Yeah.
I would take some of my disability money to go buy them shoes and then have to borrow money to pay my phone bill. I wanted them kids to know, man, there's somebody here. I would take them kids home with me. And I had a daughter in a 1-bedroom apartment. The old man would say, man, don't do that, bro. You got a daughter. And then that kid got killed. So, man, I fought to keep making right choices.
Man.
I fought me because I wanted to give up. I wanted to quit. I wanted to be hateful. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to be racist.
And that would be an excuse to go back to who you were, even if you did have the money. That's what you were afraid of, right?
Yeah. So I said, God, don't let my heart be hardened. And that's where the character came from.
Wow, man. That's an impressive story, too. I'm
the
sorry
character was
the
my
kid.
outlet. I didn't have an outlet. So I was going to be just like the kid who ended up hurting somebody.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying hurtful things to the police department. I was hurt.
Well, you know, people can get emotional and sometimes they can justify it. I mean, and like you said, they're just words. You still are demonstrative in the things that you do. You know, I talked to Pablo Escobar Kid.
Yeah.
He was saying the same thing when they killed when his dad was killed, or he maybe not killed when his dad.
He was killed. We saw it. Yeah, we see. He was killed. He wasn't taken to jail.
No. Well, he will dispute that, but you have to listen to him. It's very interesting, but
I gotta listen to it now.
Man, it's fascinating. But he was so pissed off when that happened, though, that he started saying, "Okay, I'm going to rain fire on all these people, and I'm going to avenge my father's death." And you can imagine with his reach what that did. He said he called back within hours. So, all right, of course I'm not going to do that. I'm not a gangster. I'm not like my dad. And it took a lot of time to undo all that. Just the words that he said hit the media and hit the papers, everything. Because
mine did too.
Oh boy,
mine did too.
Exactly. But the things that he's doing now to change people for the better. Oh my gosh. When you get two gangsters in here that says, yeah, but he killed my brother. Yeah, but then he killed my mother and mother, and we can't stop fighting. I'm like, go watch that. If that dude's dad killed 5,000 people.
A lot of people.
Good Lord. If they can make amends between he and the other leader from the Cali cartel, Come on.
Imagine if you brought those two individuals and put them on a speaking tour in middle schools and high schools. The depths of that murder and destruction between those two families.
Yeah.
Most people allow that rivalry to go on for hundreds of years. Family feud.
Oh my God.
Hatfields and McCoys. That's what it would be.
Yep.
If that was here in America.
It's easy to be angry about it. And
Come
it's
on now.
understandable too. I mean, I can't really talk.
But imagine if people was to hear that and they saying, man, well, I'm still mad at him for killing my brother 20 years ago.
But if I change my mind today, we can
on.
all be on a better path and just leave it behind us, for heaven's sake.
We can almost make it good. As bad as it was.
For sure.
If we can do this, we can turn that bad into something good, and it's just not bad and painful anymore.
Yeah.
That's how the concrete grow from the roads, or the roads grow from the concrete. Making the bad good, righting the wrong, the path of redemption.
Yeah. It's the least traveled path because it is also the harder path. But man, it can be done. And those are demonstrative things, including your story, which I appreciate.
I understand that this is bigger than me. So when things happen, I never take the victim approach. I look for the lesson and the blessing. That's it. If it ain't no monetary rewards, okay, what's in this shit? It got to be a lesson because this just didn't happen for no reason.
Yeah.
I didn't lose this for nothing.
Right.
So I look for the lesson, or was this a blessing?
And the lesson includes the accountability. You know, the times that I've been screwed over the most with the help of my wife, who also keeps my mind pretty well focused. We will say, look, maybe 2 or 3% of this could have been avoided had we done this better. So it's better for us to focus on how do we not allow that part to happen again. Instead of saying, hey, this is mostly their fault.
Yeah.
We say, hey, there are parts of this that we need to be accountable for, even if it's small.
Yeah. Well, my mother old saying is, you done wrong before. So when something happens, you have to look and see, okay, have I ever done this to somebody before? Have I ever done this? Have I ever made somebody feel like this?
Yeah.
And if I have, then I ain't got no right to be mad. That's what I secretly tell myself when I get mad at something. Nigga, yeah, man, I drive by myself and say, man, nigga, you done something like this before, man. How you gonna be mad? You done say it's how you. So then I gotta process me now. See, so I talk to me so I can process the bullshit. I want to get the bullshit out, T. I don't want to walk around and be full of shit.
Yeah. Well, and you could maybe do something productive with that pile of stones that you keep next to you instead of throwing them, right?
Yeah.
You can make something out of those.
Come on,
right?
man, build something with it.
Yeah.
If nothing but igloo. Let somebody come in and seek refuge.
Yeah.
Get out the cold. Have some shelter.
Yep.
If nothing else, we ain't got to stone them to death. And so out of my anger and out of my frustration from being a financially struggling community activist who felt like he had been abandoned and rejected and used and misused and taken advantage of and exploited, I started throwing stones. I started spewing hate. And at that moment, I really wanted to be hateful. I stopped talking to God, asking God. I wanted to be hateful. And then something happened because I had already been praying to God. God, don't let my heart be hateful. He had already heard the prayer. So he wasn't going to let it be hateful. And then something happened.
Which was?
I went into the mental hospital. The police, I say they kidnapped me. But these people have been working with me, have been sitting down and meeting with me. We had been doing trainings together. Deputy Chief Ty Hassel used to call me and say, hey, Charleston, man, we're going to put an extra 100 and something police officers out on the west side. What do you think about that Las Vegas Trail area? Well, goddamn, Deputy Chief, man, we got all the rookies over here in Stop 6. Y'all can't leave us with all the rookies. Goddamn, give us some veterans. Unless we left with all the rookies. So that's the relationship we had.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that wasn't Charleston. They know I'm not hateful.
Yeah.
But they knew something had happened because, man, he don't act like this. Man, this is not him. Man, when you feel used and you can't understand, man, I've been good, man. Why would you? And not only that, I'm left out here still with the threats. I'm left out here still with the threats. All of you guys done got pat on the backs and funding and promotions from being with the work, but man, I'm still out here with the threats.
Mm-hmm.
What about me? Hey, where y'all go? I know, I didn't mean that, man. Where y'all, man? They turned their backs. And because of that, good officers was punished because they didn't turn their back on me. They know that's not Charleston. And good officers lost. Man, it hurt my heart, man. Good officers.
Yeah, they're in good spots though, man. They know where you're at. I know who you're talking about too. I know those cats.
No, man.
They're good people, and they are not. They certainly aren't sweating you for it. They know what the deal is, man.
Yeah, nah, man. So, see, I got to meet good police officers in uniform, out of uniform, white, black, Mexican. So I got to see, man, these people are human behind this badge. So me and Rick Van Houten, he was the president of the Fort Worth Police Officers Association at the time. Man, I was taking my own money and I was booking a venue. They had the CLEAT conference there. And man, I wanted to do this event with black children and police officers. I had this guy that had this writing workshop at the time. I wanted to do a book that was called Walk a Mile in My Shoes. So I wanted to capture at least a dozen police officers' stories. And they write a small page about what it's like to put on this uniform, kiss your family, and walk out this door, and you may possibly never come back. Get the black kids from the ghetto. They write what it's like to be in the ghetto. Put that in a book.
Mm-hmm.
Walk a mile in my shoes, and let each one read each other's stories.
Super.
In my mind, that would have humanized the badge in this city to our kids. It'll bring back the beat cop. So I bought into the procedural justice. Made perfect sense to me. So I became a spearhead for the Fort Worth Police Department in the procedural justice push into the community, the federal national initiative. So man, they gave me all that knowledge and I bought into it, only to be a political toy. And I was sincere. And coming from the streets, you feel like a motherfucker use you. I can't kill him. So how I know how to kill him? With my words. Spew hate and venom.
Especially when you had the platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I had to take a mental reset. One of the most invaluable thing, one of the most ingenuous things that they did, they labeled me as being homicidal and suicidal by ideation and preparation because I go to the gun range.
And they mental apped you for that? Like a 72-hour hold thing?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, 7-day hold.
You didn't say anything?
I didn't say nothing.
You didn't say anything to anybody?
No.
They said it was you demonstrating a danger to yourself or others by being at the gun range and slinging hate?
I was saying a lot of hateful things toward the death of Officer Garrett Hull. He hadn't even been buried yet. I had called down. I had made a public post that I hope. I had made a public post like a few days prior to Officer Garrett Hull being killed, that I pray in the name of Jesus that a Fort Worth police officer dies in the line of duty.
Ooh.
And then I said I prayed that Gina Bivens have a heart attack or a stroke, and she ended up having a heart attack or a stroke. Officer Garrett Hull. And then I called down and I told the city manager's office, because I personally know these people.
Yeah.
And told David Cook, and this is not funny, but that I hope his daughter grow up and marry a well-hung black man that kick her in her ass and fuck her good. Well, they twisted that and said I threatened to rape his daughter. So that's how they was able to push it. And they said I threatened Gina Bivens. They was indirect threats. So what they did, they went and took my Facebook post, but I'm just venting.
Yeah.
They took all the Facebook posts, and so that's what they used. I never seen a real doctor. I never seen a judge. They kept me 7 days and, gave me a bullshit diagnosis of marijuana psychosis. Marijuana psychosis and suicidal and homicidal by ideation and preparation. When they arrested me, I had like over 400 rounds of 22 bullets, 22 Ruger that I've been going to the gun range shooting, and a whole bunch of black liberation literature in the car that the legal aid lawyers had gave me to do some research on. So man, it was I just, first thing one of the officers told me is, and I won't say his name because I fuck with him and I love him, white guy. He said, Charleston, you must pissed off the wrong people. I said, yeah, I know. That was my intention. I wanted to. I had been dealing with top brass for them to let me get away with that. Me and Deputy Chief Dean was meeting at the Southwest Cafe House every week, just chopping it up. They really became like father figures to me. So imagine a kid who's never had a father. All of a sudden, I got a white dad, I got a black dad, and we bonding for real in my mind.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they gone. That's what they got. That's that rejection.
Yeah. It was political, basically.
Well, because this one, I realized it was political. All the deputy chiefs used to say, hey, Charleston, call me. Man, don't tell Fitzgerald nothing. But I don't know this. I don't know Rick Van Houten is into it with Fitzgerald. I don't know Rick Van Houten is, all the black leaders don't like Rick Van Houten. So all the black leaders turned against me because every time they look up, I'm hugging on Rick Van Houten. Big old tall racist looking white boy. This is my buddy at the time.
Yeah, grape ape.
Yeah, man. So so the black people looking at me like they done bought me, but they ain't giving me no money. I ain't taking no money. I just want to help wherever I can help.
Right.
So in my mind, now I got all these father figures, but no one is showing me how to get the funding where I'm not all over the place. So I'm at this country club, I'm at this meeting, I'm at this training, but I was just a face for them. Hey, me and Charleston is doing all this great work down there in Stop 6, and they come down there, they bring the big police Winnebagos and vans, and I'm at the turkey giveaway. I was just a political tool. And I didn't know that the police department was so divided with Fitzgerald. So when I started meeting with Fitzgerald, and man, that's when it hit the fan. I said, yeah. So I'm in the middle of this shit, homie.
Yeah, it's divided quite often.
But I don't know this. I'm a guy.
Yeah,
I'm a guy in the community thinking because my black politicians. I sat down with Gina Bivens, and she told me, Charleston, the help that you're looking for in the community with what you're trying to do, you have to go to the police department. All the funding that helps black people in our communities for us, after school program, Boys and Girls Club, man, most of that come through the police department CCPD funding. I never asked for it. I started finding out that this is the relationship between our black community leaders, the police department, and the government leaders. Everybody fighting over where this money goes. It's not really to help the people. I'm coming saying, hey, y'all, I can help without the money. And the black people saying, shut up, boy, get your motherfucking ass out of here. Yeah. I'm saying, hey, I know how to help without the money. Go on, boy, get on.
Yeah. And you're talking to the wrong cops. What are you talking? He's dividing out there too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
man, I can see that.
And so when the Garrett Hull situation happened, man, this is my son. This is my homeboy son. So when I get the news of what happened and how it all transpired, well, y'all done trained me in procedural justice. And I'm saying to the mayor, David Cook, and everybody that had y'all been following procedural justice, Officer Garrett Hull would still be alive. Dacian Steptoe, they wasn't supposed to never be able to go off into that bar. They had already had enough evidence that they had been doing these robberies. They shouldn't have never had been. So I'm saying, man, y'all fed me bullshit and I bought it. My mama address is online because I bought this shit. My whole family, man. So, man, I went off. But I needed it. I needed that 7-day reset. To say, man, get this anger out of your heart. Everything you've been praying for, you about to become it. Everything you've been praying, man. So I needed them 7 days. And then I came out a resurrected man with a new heart and a new mind.
What's it take? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Success around the sandbox with second grade rules. A confident fake to make you do what they want when they won't pay the fool. A diplomatic face is the one to see you through. And don't let those bigots take you off your game, but just to let them loose. Just sit here in the front